While I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, I am really not anticipating the new Harry Potter show, and I am kind of bummed that they are redoing the series over again in a different format. I am really not excited, and here are my reasons why. The original movies were successful and recent enough. The 8 Harry Potter films were really beloved by most people, and they ended quite recently in 2011. And I know that the first one premiered in 2001. It's been like more than 20 years since the first one, but since the last installment, it hasn't been too long. And I think that a lot of the fans, they still love these movies, and I feel like it's a little redundant to remake this show. It's almost like remaking Lord of the Rings. It would feel kind of pointless, wouldn't it? Like, it would be just redoing the same thing, and it's not like they didn't have like good special effects or terrible acting or just really weak scripts. I think that all of these things were fairly decent in the original films. I just don't see the HBO Max series, Harry Potter series, doing it much better than these films, especially when they're not going to have the same budget as the movies. So I just don't really see the point. I can have my mind changed. I can like maybe see trailers and then so hopefully get excited, but right now I am really not anticipating the show, unfortunately. Like Jared Harris, son of original Dumbledore actor Richard Harris, put it, the films were fantastic. Let's just leave it alone. The new actors have big shoes to fill. The casting is fine for the most part. Like, nothing really stands out to me as terrible except one. So the principal cast of the new Harry Potter series is Papa Isidore as Professor Snape, John Lithgow as Albus Dumbledore, Janet McTeer as Minerva McGonagall, Nick Frost as Rubeus Hagrid, which I think is really the best casting decision out of all of these, in my opinion. It's the one that like has me most excited. Luke Talion as Quirinus Quirrell, which is really just a stupid name, and Paul Whitehouse as Argus Filch. I am really just kind of okay with this cast. Like, not over the moon excited, but I'm okay with all of them except one. I really like John Lithgow as an actor, and I think that he would be a good Dumbledore. There were other actors that you could have casted as Dumbledore, but I guess you can't really go too old and you can't really go too young, so I think that John Lithgow is a good choice for the role. I can see him in the part. The young actors, I don't know much about them. Nobody does. They're pretty much unknowns. And while I am ready to give them benefit of the doubt, I think that they can be good, but they have big shoes to fill. They really do. They have huge like expectations behind them because these roles are iconic at this point. People are gonna have major anticipation like going into this series to see how these actors are gonna do. And I don't think that they're gonna wow us at the beginning because like just like the original young actors that played Harry, Ron, and Hermione were too young at the start of the series. Like, they weren't really all that great, but like you really got invested in them. And I hope that the same thing happens with this trio, with these young actors. I hope that we're gonna get invested in their story. For them anyways, I really hope so, because this is a decade-long commitment and it's gonna change their lives forever. They don't even know how much it's gonna change their lives. Like, being a parent, would you really allow your kids to start in these things? Like, to me, that's just weird, but I guess that's just me. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you would let your kid star in a Harry Potter series, but I wouldn't. The big, like, controversial pick, like, the big controversial name is, like, the actor that they chose to play Severus Snape in this show. And I think that they swapped races really carelessly here. It doesn't really feel like they picked out the best actor to play the role. It just felt like they did it because they could. And I just don't see the reason for it. I don't see the story reason behind it. Maybe to be more politically correct. I don't know. It just kind of rubs me the wrong way because you already had descriptions of Snape in the book, and he was clearly like detailed as a white man with long black hair. And here he does not look like that, and already we have a change from the original source material. This was supposed to be a faithful adaptation to the book, but already it's not, and I don't like this casting. I think it's ridiculous. It's gonna take me out of the series for sure. I just don't think that this was a good pick, and this was just a miscast. I'm not saying that the dude is a terrible actor. He's a great actor, but it's just a miscast. And like you had really just great choices for the role of Snape, like this guy. I just don't understand it, and I think a lot of people are upset with, and rightfully so. The series won't be 100% faithful to the books. This is a lie from the producers. I don't think that the series will be 100% faithful to the books. It is an adaptation. Adaptations change things, they add things, they remove things. We are not gonna get like word for word adapted here in this series, even though it's gonna be like several episodes long. They're gonna have enough time to adapt the book, but I just don't see it happening. I think that there will be changes, and people need to accept that. Like, even though the filmmakers promised us that, even though J.K. Rowling said that, I don't believe them for a second. Like, just take Game of Thrones, for example. Like, the first few seasons were pretty close to the source material, but then they completely just went off the rails, and I just don't see them being 100% faithful to the source material. It's just impossible. Risk of diminishing the Harry Potter legacy. There's a concern that this new series won't live up to the franchise's legacy, the movie's legacy, and I think that that is a valid concern. I don't think that the series will be better than the films. Personally, I am afraid that it's gonna tarnish the series legacy, not just the films but the books as well. Like, the films, I think you can't really tarnish them. They're done. Like, you can't really change them. Even like Fantastic Beasts, which I think wasn't very good, didn't tarnish the films. Like, you just can't ignore the Fantastic Beasts series, and if this show is terrible, we can't ignore that too. But when you put out so many bad content for your world, for your universe, it just feels like the name is going to be tarnished a little bit, and I just don't want that, and I think a lot of people don't want that. They want to have good memories with Harry Potter because it really just changed their lives a lot, and I am afraid, kind of like Rings of Power did for the Lord of the Rings franchise. But we'll see if it actually does that. I'm just like really hoping for the best here. Unnecessary remake fatigue. An era filled with reboots, sequels, remakes. It is really just sort of sad seeing so many IPs being retooled. We are just being force-fed with IPs, and I think that we are getting sort of sick of it at this point. It just really feels like cinema is regurgitating itself for the worse. We don't get any really original blockbuster films anymore, and it's kind of sad. This series to me is just a cash grab. It really is. It feels like it. It doesn't feel like they are doing this because they love the property. If they did, they would do other stuff, which I'm gonna talk about soon. But here I just don't feel the love from these producers, from JK. I think that they are just making this for money, and it's mainly because Fantastic Beasts didn't work out. Like, it was a critically and financially disappointment for the studio, and that's why they are remaking this series. I think that if Fantastic Beasts had hit, I don't think that they would have remake this series. That's my theory on this. I think that they would have done other things in the Harry Potter universe, but now I think that they are so afraid of doing things that don't involve the name Harry Potter. That I feel like this was one of the major like decisions in producing this series. Like, at least do an animation. Like, animation, I would have been fine with it because it's at least a different medium, and you don't have all these expectations in your head of who's gonna play who and like how Hogwarts is supposed to feel. Like, you get what I'm saying? I think animation would have been the way to go. J.K. Rowling's controversial involvement. Oh boy, here we go. J.K. Rowling's recent like public statements have not helped her image. I think that J.K. Rowling has said some stupid things. She should just have kept her mouth shut, especially when you write stuff for like young adults. And I feel like she spoke out of line. I don't think that she's a villain. I don't think that she's as evil as Voldemort here, but a lot of people do. A lot of people are disappointed with her, angry with her even for speaking the words that she did. And I get it. Like, I don't know if having her involved with this show is the right move, but then again, she's the creator. Like, I don't think that Warner Brothers are gonna like fire her because there's too much money involved. I don't know. It's just a really sticky situation. I don't think that she made the right call by saying the things that she did, but I also like am not gonna burn her at the stake as well. I don't have a strong opinion on this either way, but I get why she really just hurt some people. Like, it was not cool on her part, and I think some people will avoid like supporting this series because of her. My final point is this. There is the missed opportunity here for new stories in this universe. Instead of retelling the same story, they should have just told some different stories. And I know that they tried it with Fantastic Beasts, but I think that they should have tried again. It doesn't mean that maybe if you failed once, it's not gonna work ever. I mean, that's a narrow way of looking at things, in my opinion. Like, it worked super well for Hogwarts Legacy. I played Hogwarts Legacy, and I had really a good time with that game. And it feels like a fresh tale in the Harry Potter universe, and I think that we need that. We just don't need the same stuff that we've already seen. We could have gotten so much interesting stories, like the Marauders era, Tom Riddle's time at Hogwarts, the founding of Hogwarts, or even a new generation of wizards. Like, you don't need to adapt the Cursed Child. You can just like invent new stories that takes place after Harry Potter. There is so much stuff you can do with this universe, and I just don't understand why they keep going back. It just doesn't make any sense to me. We're gonna be stuck in the same story, in the same era, for another 10 years. And that doesn't really excite me all that much. I'm tired of remakes. I really am. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that this series is incredible. I hope that I'm just really in love with this new version of Harry Potter. But as of now, I am really not anticipating it. And unfortunately, I don't think that it's going to be good. But hopefully, I'm wrong. Let me know what you think about the new casting here, or like if you agree with my points, or maybe you're really anticipating the Harry Potter series. Maybe you think that it's a good idea. I don't, but maybe you do. Let me know down in the comments below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.